Good morning, guys. It's Tuesday, November 22nd. Our book today is called How to Not Die Alone. A relationship is not about who each of you is separately. It's about what happens when you come together. Although love may be a natural instinct, dating isn't. No human was born knowing how to choose the right partner. Intentional love is philosophy for creating healthy relationships. It helps you see your life as a series of choices rather than accidents. A lasting relationship is the culmination of a series of decisions, including when to get out there, whom to date, how to end it with the wrong person, when to settle down with the right one, and everything in between. Make good decisions and you propel yourself toward a great love story. Make bad ones and you veer off course, doomed to repeat the same harmful patterns over and over. Finding someone can be hard, but the harder part is the daily work you put in to grow and sustain a great relationship. This summary will help you stay informed and purposeful in acknowledging your bad habits, adjusting your dating techniques, and approaching crucial relationship conversations. It also offers you solutions to some of life's most challenging dating decisions. Date someone who complements you, not your personality twin. Take control of your love life by understanding yourself better. Dating is more challenging now than ever before. This is because we define our own identities, unlike our ancestors whose lives were defined by their communities. We also have thousands of options at our fingertips, which cause us to question our decisions. All this just makes us uncomfortable when making big decisions if we can't research our way to the right answer. Great relationships are built, not discovered. One factor that makes dating more challenging now is social media and how it leads us to believe that everyone else is in healthier and happier relationships. Also, far too few of us have good relationship role models. Sheryl Sandberg said, "I truly believe that the single most important career decision that a woman makes is whether she will have a life partner and who that partner is." Many people also suffer from dating blind spots. Dating blind spots are patterns of behavior that hold people back from finding love, which they can't identify independently. And Logan categorized the most common blind spots into a framework called the three dating tendencies. These tendencies are the romanticizer, the maximizer, and the hesitator. The romanticizers have unrealistic expectations of relationships. They want the soulmate, the happily ever after, and the whole fairy tale. The maximizers have unrealistic expectations of their partners. They love to explore their options and want to feel absolutely confident they're making the right decision. The hesitators have unrealistic expectations of themselves and they feel like they're not ready to date. Understanding your dating tendency helps you discover what's holding you back and how you can overcome these blind spots. Excuse me, give me 1 second. I'll be back. Having the right mindset can help you enjoy your relationship even more. Romanticizers believe that love is something that happens to them and that the reason they're single is they just haven't met the right person yet. This belief determines their behavior when it comes to dating. Your mindset towards relationships matters. There are two types of mindsets: the soulmate mindset and the work it out mindset. The soulmate mindset is the belief that relationship satisfaction comes from finding the right person. On the other hand, the work it out mindset is the belief that you can achieve success in a relationship by making a deliberate effort. Relationships usually go through periods of highs and lows. There are always changes. The ability to shift your mindset from soulmate to work it out could mean the difference between finding a life partner or not. Romanticizers fall into the soulmate mindset category. People in this category reject promising patterns. People in this category reject promising partners because they don't match their vision for what love should look and feel like. They think that love will just happen to them. They expect love to be effortless. If it's not, they must be with the wrong person. People with a work it out mindset know that relationships take effort and that building a successful relationship is a process. Maximizers obsess over making the right decision. They want to explore every possible option before they make a choice. Even when they decide, they continuously wonder what they're missing out on. The current dating climate creates maximizers out of many of us. No one ever seems good enough, and we wonder if we could be happier with someone else. Maximizing tendencies in relationships can lead to mental anguish, costly delays in decision making, and missed opportunities. Don't let your desire for a perfect relationship be the enemy of a great relationship. Hesitators delay dating because they don't feel 100% ready yet and want to put their best foot forward. Hesitators are afraid of rejection, failure, and not being good enough. By waiting to date, hesitators miss out on a chance to develop their dating skills and figure out what type of person they want to be with. You can learn to overcome your hesitation by setting deadlines for yourself, doing prep work for your new dating life, telling others about your plan, committing to your new identity as a dater, starting with small goals, being compassionate with yourself, and stop talking to your ex. The path to understanding relationships and choosing a partner for the long haul. Attachment theory is a popular framework for understanding relationships. This theory helps to explain why you're attracted to certain people, why past relationships haven't worked out, and why you're trapped in a pattern of bad habits. People can be anxiously attached, avoidantly attached, or securely attached. You may be anxiously attached if you crave a lot of closeness but are insecure about your relationship's future and your partner's interest in you. You may be avoidantly attached if you feel uncomfortable with intimacy and value independence over a connection. A securely attached person is comfortable with intimacy, spending time alone, and drawing clear boundaries. Securely attached people make up 50% of the population, but not the dating pool, since they tend to get into relationships and stay in them. Anxiously attached and avoidantly attached people often date each other, reinforcing their worst tendencies. Anxiously attached or avoidantly attached people can develop better relationship skills by looking for secure patterns and learning to self regulate by managing disruptive impulses and emotions. Pay attention to whether you're attracted to someone and focus less on how society evaluates that person's looks. Life partners are trustworthy and reliable and will stay with you for the long haul. Superficial qualities like looks, money, shared hobbies, and similar personalities matter less for the success of a long term relationship. This is because lust fades and people adapt to their circumstances. A great long term partner is loyal, kind, and emotionally stable, a person with whom you can grow, make hard decisions, and fight constructively. In the end, a relationship is about what happens when the two of you come together. Try to focus on the side of you this person brings out because that's who you'll be whenever you're with them. Take a break from dating apps and embrace meeting people IRL or in real life. Apps have introduced millions of happy couples who may not have met otherwise. Dating apps have been significant for singles in sparsely populated areas and people over the age of 50. But, unfortunately, the way that certain dating apps present information can cause us to focus on the wrong things. While apps create many thriving relationships, they can also perpetuate harmful cognitive biases among their users. Since so many people are meeting via dating apps, app makers have a subtle but astonishing amount of power over our love lives. Dating apps never give you the chance to be proved wrong because you can weed out people who aren't your type. Since apps can only measure superficial traits, they exacerbate our shallowness. Apps can make us more indecisive by overwhelming us with choices. They've created a habit of relation shopping, which means comparing and contrasting people as if they're potential purchases. Some ways to use the apps to date smarter are: change your filters, change how you swipe, don't go out with too many people at the same time. Improve your chances of meeting potential lovers by taking off your headphones and interacting with the world around you. While apps are the most common way people meet one another these days, you can still strategize ways to meet people IRL. 4 strategies for meeting people IRL are: go to events, get your friends and family to set you up on dates, connect with people you already know, introduce yourself to people. Treating your date like a job interview drains all the fun out of dating. There is more to dating than merely making time for it. The environment in which you have your dates matters. When you go on dates, you're impacted by more than just the physical location of where you meet. You are also impacted by when you meet the person, what you do, and the mindset you bring to it. Two approaches to dating include evaluating, evaluative dating and experiential dating. Evaluative dating involves cross examinations that feel like job interviews. They include reviewing resume qualities and asking, is this person good enough for me? Do we have enough in common? While in experiential dating, you get out of your head and into the moment. You ask yourself, how do I feel when I'm with this person? Pay attention to what unfolds when you're together. Date with an attitude of curiosity and allow yourself to be surprised. Before I keep reading this book, I advise you to listen to this book after this broadcast over and over and over, at least once a day. I promise you, it will change your life. If you start using these kind of techniques in your date, if you look from a different perspective, you can use a pre-date ritual to get into the right mental state before a date. Design better dates by being thoughtful about where and when you go out and incorporating playful and creative activities into your dates. Always resist small talk and stay off your phone and try to end the date on a high note. God willing. God willing, you will, Rachel. Be a good listener by offering support responses that encourage your date to elaborate on a story instead of shift responses that direct the conversation back to you. Fireworks and instant chemistry are often absent at the beginning of a relationship, but can be built over time. Obsession with the spark is one of the most pervasive and dangerous ideas in dating. It causes you to miss out on excellent partners because you fail to see their true potential. The spark isn't a bad thing in and of itself. It can be a useful signal that you're attracted to someone. Plenty of good relationships start with a spark, but plenty of bad ones do too. The critical thing to remember is that its absence doesn't predict failure, and its presence doesn't predict or guarantee success. Ditch the spark and go after the slow burn. That is, someone who may not be particularly charming but would make a great long term partner. 2 or 3 dates are all it takes to know if someone could be a great long term partner. I know there is always an exception for every rule in life, and sometimes you can tell from the first date if it was really, really, really bad and there was a lot of red flags. But in general, we're talking. In your dating life, train yourself to seek out your date's best qualities. 1 second. Sorry for that, guys. My brother called me to say happy birthday. You can skip when you're watching the replay. In your dating life, train yourself to seek out your date's best qualities. Remember the dating version of the golden rule: do not judge others the way you would not want to be judged. Prioritize what actually matters long term. Do not let yourself get off track because of small distractions. We are prone to the fundamental attribution error, which is our tendency to believe someone's actions reflect who they are rather than their circumstances. For example, if someone arrives late to a date, you may assume they're selfish. You can override this error by coming up with a more compassionate reason for their behavior. Perhaps their boss dropped by their desk for a last-minute conversation when they were trying to leave work. We are worse judges of character than we think, and it often takes time for attraction to grow. Therefore, you should create a default by going on the second date. It's better to go on a second or third date with somebody and then find out that they're not a good fit than to rule out potential matches because of an initial impression that's vulnerable to all types of cognitive biases. Don't write someone off because of something silly that doesn't matter long term. Taking inventory of our lives and strategizing about our next move allows us to make better and more thoughtful decisions. After going on the second or third date, take out time to go into relationship decision points. A decision point is a moment in which you decide whether to continue what you're doing or choose a different path. Psychologists describe two ways couples transition into the next stage of a relationship: deciding and sliding. Deciding means making intentional choices about relationship transitions, while sliding entails slipping into the next stage without giving it much thought. Couples who decide tend to enjoy healthier relationships. When you start seeing someone, don't make assumptions about whether you're in a relationship. You need to DTR or define the relationship to ensure that you're on the same page about where you are and where you're headed. Did you know, according to the Guinness Book of World Records, the 4,000-year-old Sumerian love song for Shusin is considered the world's oldest love poem. On breakups, don't break down, break open. You'll wind up even stronger and more beautiful. When people are deciding whether they should end or mend a relationship, they often fall into two categories called ditchers and hitchers. Focus on yourself first. You're most able to love when you feel complete. Ditchers leave relationships too quickly without giving them a chance to develop. They confuse falling in love with being in love and expect the whole relationship to offer that initial excitement. They underestimate the opportunity cost of learning how to make relationships work. Hitchers, on the other hand, stay in relationships too long. They are affected by cognitive biases like the sunk cost fallacy, continuing to invest in something because you've already dedicated a lot of resources to it, and loss aversion, our tendency to try and avoid losses because we experience them as particularly painful. Hitchers forego the opportunity to find a more satisfying partnership. To figure out whether to stay or go, consider your historical tendencies and determine if you've given the relationship a fair chance. Get input from someone you trust to help you make your decision. Choose a quiet location for your breakup. Don't do it in public. When you've decided you want to break up with someone, it's time to make a plan. Think through what you're going to say and when and where you're going to say it. Be kind but firm. Use an accountability system and incentives to ensure that you follow through with your plan. Make a post-breakup plan with your partner to consider their needs. And don't have breakup sex. Make a post-breakup plan for yourself, including whom you'll reach out to when you're tempted to text your ex. After the breakup, give the other person space. Don't try to be nice. Don't try to be a nice breakup person. It makes you feel better but makes it harder for them to move on. You can speed up your recovery process after a breakup by reframing the experience from a loss to an opportunity for growth and learning. You can do this by focusing on the positives of the breakup, understanding the negatives of the relationship, rediscovering yourself, and learning from your mistakes. Check-in rituals and relationship contracts help to build lasting relationships. Love is a drug that intoxicates us. During the first few years of a relationship, when our brain experiences this drug's effects, it's almost impossible to evaluate our relationship rationally. Most couples experience the false consensus effect, the tendency to think other people see things the same way we do. The quality of your relationships determines the quality of your life. Relationships are your story. Write well and edit often. When love and the false consensus effect combine early in relationships, couples often fail to discuss important aspects of their future before deciding to get married. They assume they both want the same things without ever confirming that, leading to unhappy endings. Before you decide to tie the knot, you can override the false consensus effect by completing a series of self-reflection and partner activities. It is also crucial to make time to discuss topics like money, sex, religion, and children. Couples who take the time to talk through big decisions are happier than those who don't. Developing a relationship that can evolve is the key to making it last. Don't underestimate how much you'll grow and change in the future. And you should seek out relationships where you can learn and grow together with your partner. Enter a relationship contract with your partner. A relationship contract is a non-legally binding, mutually agreed upon document that helps couples create a shared vision for their relationships. Writing a relationship contract allows you to set the direction for your partnership and revise that vision over time. Also, take time out to have a check-in ritual with your spouse. A check-in ritual is a short conversation in which you and your partner discuss what's on your mind. A weekly check-in ritual helps you deal with problems as they arise. The relationship contract helps you set the direction for your partnership. And the check-in ritual ensures that you keep it on track. Strong partnerships don't appear by accident. They need attention, choice, and intentional love. What is the conclusion from this book? Although modern dating seems quite tricky, it's possible to get a reliable life partner if you are willing to pay the price. You need to be brave enough to go on dates. Don't go for a person just because he or she looks great in pictures, gives you a night full of fun, and makes you look cool in front of your friends. Go for a life partner. Someone who will be there for you during the highs and the lows. Someone you can rely on and make decisions with. Don't give in to the natural tendency to focus on your partner's negative characteristics. Train yourself to see the positives. Look for what others might miss when they talk to the same person. Due to the ever-changing nature of relationships, we should treat them as if they are living and breathing things. But too often, we treat our relationship like a toaster. We take it out of the box, plug it in, and hope it stays the same. A toaster works best on the day you buy it, and it slowly gets worse over time. No one assumes their toaster will adapt or improve. In marriage, we commit to the institution of our wedding day and expect it to stay the same till death do us part. Great relationships don't just appear in our lives. It takes a lot of effort. Taking out time to invest in it is what makes it grow healthier. Let's ditch the toaster and bring romance into the 21st century by adopting the intentional love philosophy. Try this. To know if your partner brings the best in you, pay attention to how you feel when you're around this person or right after you finish spending time together. Write down the way you feel. Then get a third party view by going out with a group of friends. Instead of asking, "What did you think of my partner?" ask, "What did you think of me around my partner?" Thank you very much, guys. Don't forget, listen to this over and over and over, at least one time a day for a while until you get it and remember it like your name. God bless you. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you tomorrow, if the Lord permits, with another book reading. Bye bye.